Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone is having a great day and welcome to another Cars 3 diecast review. Today, we'll be reviewing Smokey, and this is actually my 10th Cars 3 diecast review, which is unbelievable. I can't believe we've made it so far already, and that only means we're closer to the release of Cars 3 in theaters on June 16th, and of course, even closer to the release of the diecast to stores on May 1st. So without any further ado, let's get right into the review. So of course, on my last week's Cars 3 diecast review, you guys for the most part voted for me to review Smokey next. He received around 1,150 votes, which was 71% of the people who voted. Right behind him was Bobby Swift, so he will be one of the options for the new poll for next week's review. So of course, we have Bobby Swift, Octane Gain number 19. Moving on to the second option, Reb Meeker, the Tank Coat Racer. Up next, we have Bumper Save number 90, another cool Piston Cup racer. And the last racer for this poll is Brick Yardley number 24, the Vitamin Racer. And last but not least is Natalie Certain, who we just got an animated look at, and some pictures of her were released along with her actor, Kerry Washington. So since that was revealed, maybe more people will want to vote for her. But I think that Bobby Swift will most likely win. He's always kind of been the runner-up, and the cars that he has been behind have all been reviewed now. So it's most likely that he will win, but I'm not discouraging you from voting for someone else. So yeah, let's dive right into the review of Smokey now. And of course, I just want to mention, thanks for voting, by the way. So I encourage you to vote. I really do appreciate it because you guys really are like a part of this whole series, and it really feels like I'm doing what you guys want to do for the most part. So now let's get officially into the review of Smokey. So for all of my reviews, I start off with the car's appearance, but we don't know where exactly Smokey will appear in the movie. We don't even know who will be voicing him. However, we do have a pretty good idea that he will help Lightning McQueen train at the Thomasville Speedway. We also know that he does have some connection to Doc Hudson, who passed away between the events of Cars 1 and Cars 2, unfortunately, because the actor Paul Newman passed away in real life. Now, despite our lack of knowledge surrounding Smokey, I'm also pretty sure he had a voiceover in the two most recent Cars 3 trailers. He was the one who said, "You can't turn back the clock, kid, but you can wind it up again." And he also said that you will never be the racer you once were. Now, don't confuse this with Doc Hudson's voiceover. Doc Hudson said more speed, more horsepower, and more of everything. And so we know that's Doc Hudson for sure. The voices are pretty much identical to the voice in Cars 1. So there's no dispute over that, but of course, this other voiceover is definitely a new character, and therefore there's a little bit of controversy over who it might be. I personally think it's Smokey because it does sound like an older male, kind of like a wiser guy, and that seems to be who Smokey will be in the movie, like the wise role, kind of replacing Doc Hudson's role, but not entirely, because we know that Doc Hudson, even though he has passed away, he will have some role in the movie, probably through a flashback or something like that. Now, if you'd like to see my review, or not really a review, but kind of like a whole video breakdown on the flashback with Doc Hudson and Smokey, you can check out that video in the description below. So getting back to his appearance, like I said, we don't really know, but I think those are probably, what we'll see him in, training at Thomasville. And that leads me into his diecast releases. We know that he will be released as a single. You can see the picture there. A bunch of packages were just revealed last week, so I can finally show you guys now in the videos of my Cars 3 diecast, because before we didn't really have any pictures to show, so I just kind of went off of the list that we have already. And then there's also a 5-pack he'll be released in that has Cruz Ramirez in it, Lightning McQueen, Luigi and Guido, of course, himself, and it's called Training with Smokey. And it also says Thomasville Legends, Champions, or something like that. So that definitely gives us some more insight that McQueen will train with Smokey and Cruz Ramirez at this track that Doc Hudson used to race at, because of course we saw in the most recent trailer that Doc Hudson did race there on that billboard. So that's pretty much it for his releases, appearance, all that good stuff. And of course, if I were to review Smokey after June 16th, when Cars 3 comes out, then I will definitely have a lot more to say because he will be a pretty main character and may even be like one of the most prominent, like the top 5 characters of the movie, but we'll have to see about that. And now let's dive right into the review of him. I'm pretty excited to review this guy. I really like the look of him, and supposedly he's a Hudson truck. So of course, Doc Hudson is a fabulous, or not really a fabulous, but he is a Hudson Hornet. He was coined the term Fabulous Hudson Hornet for his racing abilities, but he is under the Hudson brand. And apparently, although it's not confirmed yet, Smokey is also under the Hudson brand. So if you take a look at him here, he's all rusty and banged up because he is quite old. If you did know Doc Hudson, you know, he is pretty old. So you can see kind of like tarnishing along the fenders here. It's like purple, just kind of nice colors actually, but he's definitely wearing a little bit. On the side here, it does say Smokey's Automotive Service, and in that small print there below that, it does in fact say Thomasville. So this links Thomasville to Smokey and Doc Hudson, so very, very cool there. I mean, it's really hard to see because the leathers are like bubble leathers, so it's extremely difficult to see, but trust me, it does say Thomasville there. As we move on to the back here, it does say Best Dang Garage in Town, and the license plate is BST-GRG, obviously standing for Best Garage. So that is really, really cool. The text above it, let me see if I can read it. It says 1946 Penna. So Penna. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I think I've seen some speculation about it, but I don't know if anything has been confirmed yet. But of course, nothing can really be confirmed until the movie comes out. So that's kind of an interesting tidbit on there. We have some more corrosion over here especially. I really like how both sides are different. Like you can see, this fender is pretty much perfect, but if you look over here, it's like all pink. So that's nice that they changed it up and didn't make it identical to both sides. Very, very cool there. Great job, Mattel. Then we have like his little visor up here. Nice little smile on him. Very, very cool. Here's the base if you're interested. Just a quick little look. And that's pretty much it for Smokey. He does have one side view mirror over here on his left side, but not on his right side. And there's his grill with the little red ornament right there, a silver one up here. So very nicely detailed, and he's actually quite small. If you compare him to Lightning McQueen, you can see that they're like comparable in length. Of course, Smokey is a little bit taller, but they aren't like that, you know, they're not that different in size. Because originally I thought Smokey would be quite big because he's a truck, but in reality, Mater is actually bigger than him. So that is actually quite surprising, but hopefully it is accurate to the movie and Mattel didn't somehow, for some weird reason, scale him down or whatever, because they have done that before and it's kind of annoying, but hopefully they didn't do that for Smokey. I don't think they would because he's such, or he will be such, a main character. Let's compare him to Doc Hudson real quick again. Here's just the regular Doc Hudson. Of course, we might see these two in the movie together, but Doc may most likely look like this with his racing paint job on, which will be awesome to see in the movie. Super excited to see Doc Hudson back, of course. We know he will be back. I mean, he spoke in the movie, so definitely a flashback of some sort to either him and McQueen training or him and Smokey, because I'm pretty sure that Doc Hudson actually crashed at this Thomasville Speedway. Now let's compare him to one other truck I have. Now, of course, Smokey is a brand new model truck, but just for comparison purposes, here's Hank Halsum, which is one of the most commonly used truck models for Mattel. He appeared in Cars 1 at the very end during the end credits at Flo's V8 Cafe. So you can see some similarities as all trucks would, but they are actually extremely different. And if you compare any truck to Smokey, you will also see extreme differences because Smokey is so new and unique and it's awesome. Now, I've heard a lot of people going around and saying that Smokey is like a combination of Bubba and Mater. It's like if the two merged, and I have to agree with that to some extent. Of course, it would make a little bit more sense if either Bubba or Mater, you know, they weren't tow trucks, because then, I mean, I don't know how you end up with no towing cables back there, but they are quite similar. You have like the size of Mater a little bit, you have the color of Bubba. So yeah, I can definitely see where people are getting that from. It's actually kind of cool and funny because Bubba appeared in the Storyteller's books. He was like a big villain to Mater back in the day and during like the events, I think between a couple of the movies or something like that. So maybe he'll appear in Cars 3. No, I'm just kidding. I really doubt he'll appear. But that's pretty much it for my review of Smokey. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I know a lot of people were looking to this review. They were looking forward to this review, I should say. I'm sorry it took so long, but you know, I'm going by what the votes say, so I have to do that, and I think it's been working out well because usually the majority of people, you know, vote for the car that wins. Usually it's not like 50-50 and one just wins by like a couple votes. So I think that's a pretty good system that we have going on. I'll probably, you know, keep it going throughout my entire channel career until, you know, something happens. But I think that even when the diecasts come out, I'll use these polls so I can review what you guys want to see most next. I think that's a good system of doing it. So thanks again for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time for another video. I know this video was a little late, by the way. I had a birthday request to do earlier in the day that came out last night at midnight, so that's why this review got postponed, but I think it's okay. I mean, I don't know if it's really going to affect anyone, but I'm sorry if anyone is a little upset about that. But actually, here's the 5-pack that we'll be seeing in stores on May 1st, and they also has some some hay bales or something like that in the pack. So you'll see that when I showed the picture several minutes ago. So thanks again for watching. I'm sorry for keeping droning on, but I did want to show that little gathering here. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.